Hey viewers, welcome to another game of the Casual Pro Gamer. And today we're doing a Brand game. And Brand is played by Society, who sent in one game previously, I think. And he is trio queuing, I guess, with Scion and Nunu. So Loopies and Bluppy, whatever. Yeah, they are going to do this game together, and they have some tankiness to them, these two at least, but then again the enemy team does have a tank as well, so they should be quite equally matched. There's a lot of damage on this team, and the enemy team has more of a utility. I mean, Pantheon has a stun, Annie has a stun, Nidalee has, well, a heal and a lot of abilities basically. Vayne is the only one that really doesn't have anything. So we'll have to see. By the way, I still haven't got a complete group for my domination game, and I'm really starting to think I better redivide the groups with everyone who sent in their email, and yeah, just go with the group I have now. Because each of the groups is missing, well, some email addresses. So the best group so far is group number 1, of which I have 5 email addresses out of 6. And then the worst group I think is group 4, off the top of my head, of which I only have 4 out of 6. But yeah, so it's all 4 or 5. It may actually be only 3. I'm not sure. But yeah, I wasn't really pleased with that, seeing that there's no group completed yet, because I really want to start it, but we'll have to see. So if you're watching this video and you actually wanted to participate in domination, then please check out the video. Or, well, maybe there are people who missed the deadline for the first video and still want to participate. You can, because you can just take over one of the other spots. So for that you would have to watch the first video, and if you already well, just send me a message. So don't post it on the video, because I won't see it probably. I get a lot of messages nowadays, so it's almost impossible to keep up with it. So just send me a message, and yeah, it should be okay. Anyways, going into this video, we see Brand going up against Vayne. Brand has a lot of advantages over Vayne, because his abilities just have longer range, and yeah, although Vayne does, I think, some more damage, and easier damage at least. Vayne does have a stun. Brand does have a stun. He does have a huge amount of damage, especially from that thing, the Pillar of Fire. Oh, let me show you this. And yeah, we'll have to see what he can actually make of it. So they lost the first blood already, and bottom lane is being pushed here, because Scion and, oh, I forgot the other guy who was here, Pantheon? Yeah. No, Pantheon is on the enemy team. Scion and Nunu. They were, they both had to go home while one of them got killed. Oh, Nunu is jungling. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, of course Nunu is jungling. Duh. So why did they have a 2v1 bottom lane then? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, normally you choose to have the top lane being the 1v2 lane, because then you can defend the dragon. Because now with a 1v2 lane up in the bottom, you have no chance of defending dragon if the enemy team goes for it. So, Vayne is really low here by now, and yeah, Brand might be able to take her out because she already expended her heal. And yeah, there we go. The stun landing, and that's enough to get a kill. Not even using the Pillar of Flame, just using some basic attacks to get it done. So minion wise, it is now 14 to 16, so that's pretty much equal. He's 1 kill ahead, so guess that's good. Sion still with 0 minion kills here, and Master Yi and Misfortune not doing a great job. I mean, if you cannot kill the minions well like this, I mean 9 minions out of 5 minutes of play. Okay, I know the minions only spawn after like a minute and a half or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, are they finally going to get something? Yeah, finally. But Master Yi is getting killed. And then top lane is getting killed as well. Why wouldn't you just stay at your turrets? I don't know. Anyway, not my problem. My problem is mid lane, and not the things that the other guys are trying to accomplish. Anyway, yeah, I was talking about domination. That's good. Don't think I have anything else actually. Yeah, I'm trying to make as many videos as I can today and just upload them, and yeah, you'll have to cherry pick which one you want to watch now and maybe what you want to watch later and what you're going to skip. But yeah, I just want to just clean up my my mailbox a little bit. And yeah, after this one I'm probably going to do one more. And that's it for today. Then I'm going to spend some time on my application for the Riot Games job. It requires a lot of work because for some reason they require a lot of yeah, for example, my top 10 favorite games of all time, and that is kind of a random question because yeah, they have no idea how many games I played and which games I played, so even if I say that, I don't know, just some random thing, Warcraft 2 is my favorite game, that doesn't mean anything. But okay. So I don't need suggestions for that, by the way. It's pretty clear. I played about, well, let's make a rough estimate. I think about 5,000 games over the course of my life. Most of them small games, obviously. But I played a lot of big games as well. Normally the big games are a lot better, but then again, if you play like 4,500 small games, there's bound to be some of the small games that are better than all of the big games. But I'm still going to pick a big game as my favorite. My actual favorite game is a game nobody knows, but that's okay. And my actual favorite game that I'm going to give to them would be Magic the Gathering, which isn't even a computer game, so that doesn't mean that's even more random than it already was, because, well, they're asking me for my favorite game, and, well, that would be my favorite game. But yeah, it's really difficult to choose between what you actually want to say and what you think they want to hear, because if I say my favorite game is Mind Games, then because that is my actual favorite game, then they have no idea what Mind Games is, because it's not an American game. It is in fact a game that's only been launched in Europe. And I know this because it's a game from my company. I actually do have a gaming company, or had a gaming company I should say. And I brought out quite a few games, but they're all really small scale because, well, I had to pay for it myself for all the publishing costs. So I basically brought them out as games that companies could buy for their employees, for example, and then I would personalize them with logos and things like that, because, well, that's what sets me apart from other big gaming companies. And yeah, most of the companies are kind of tired of giving their employees some random stuff with Christmas or something like that, and instead they could give me a personalized they could give their employees a personalized game. And well, I actually did some games where I included all of the employees in the game. So in a 250 person company, I did a game that included all 250 persons, people who worked there, and that was actually quite brilliant because they really liked it, and yeah, it was quite a cool game too. So, guess that's good. Did some smaller games as well, just for smaller companies, that is. And yeah, I have a lot of good gaming ideas for board games, because my company was a board game company. And yeah, people respond to that pretty well if you playtest them well enough. And so that's what I did. So I hired some people to play my games, and basically that's where I made my money. And that's where I learned how to develop a decent game and what people actually want, and yeah, things like that. And from there, I'm now going into well, not now, but I went into the computer gaming industry. And computer games are a little bit easier than board games, because computer games can actually be tuned after they are released, and that's really hard to do with a board game. Because once you printed all of the cards and the rules and the box and everything like that... Oh, nice kill here. Yeah, actually getting the kill on this Annie. Very nice. But after you're done with the box and everything like that, and as I said, the rules, the cards, whatever is in your box, there's not a whole lot of changes you can do. I mean, you can send people, or you can launch on your website, I should say, yeah, well, alternative rules or something like that, but yeah, generally that's not the way you want to do that. And in a computer game, like everyone knows who plays League of Legends, there are plenty of ways to tune it afterwards, and therefore you don't have to playtest at all. I mean, look at what they do with new champions in this game. This guy's dead. Overextending like a boss here. But yeah, so computer games are actually a lot easier to make than board games, because board games, well, you have to finish your design in one go. And if it doesn't work like you want it to, yeah, you're screwed. And not only you, your customers are screwed as well, because they have a game that doesn't work correctly. And we see many of those games on the market, by the way. Monopoly doesn't work at all. Risk doesn't work at all. I can explain why, and if people want to hear that, I will tell you in a future video, but it takes a while. What else? Settlers from Catan, I think is the English title. That doesn't work. It is, by the way, one of the better games, Settlers from Catan, because it almost works. And then, yeah, most of the trading games. My favorite board game would be, oh, what's it called? Puerto Rico. It is a board game or rather a card game. It's not really a board game because there's not actually a board. You have a board game of it, but that one I didn't like. It takes too much time, and yeah, it basically isn't as good as this Nunu doesn't know you can cancel the ultimate. But the card game is actually really good because it incorporates a new principle for paying for things. So you can basically build buildings in your city, and yeah, you can build the buildings. Oh, yeah, here we are. You can build the buildings by discarding cards, and yeah, you have to manage the amount of cards in your hand as well as the buildings you build, and just by getting rid of all of the cards makes it a completely different game from all of the other card games I played. And I played a lot of those. Card games are probably my favorite type of game because it's so easy. You don't need to set up a whole big board or whatever. It is just really easy to start, and it's also really small packages, so that means that I can store them actually here, because I have a lot of games here, and with a lot I mean I think I have about 80 games standing here in my house. So board games, that is. And yeah, you can see that I am kind of a gaming freak. And yeah, since I designed a lot of games as well, I don't have any of those games here. Yeah, not any is kind of an exaggeration. I do have some of them, but yeah, I think about 3 out of, I think I designed about 50 or 60 games. So I do have quite a lot of experience in board games, at least. And yeah, as I said, my favorite game is Mind Games. It is a card game as well. It is a group game, so you can play it. In principle, you can play it with 3 people or more, but it really becomes fun once you do it with 5 or more, and preferably more. So it's really a group game, and there aren't a lot of group games, and I really didn't expect it to be so much fun, but yeah, it is. And yeah, I hope that one day I will have the money to actually market it a little bit bigger than this, because now I only got to print I think 500 copies, which sold out nearly immediately, except for the ones that or well, outside of the ones that I actually did for companies, because several companies wanted the game as well. And yeah, it is a really fun game to play. So in total I think there's like, oh, I have to estimate that, I think about 800-900 of these of this game well, are sold by me, but it's just too expensive for me to go and just produce 10,000 of them, and I don't want to borrow the money from a bank or something like that, hoping that I can actually make the money back. But yeah, maybe one day I will, and yeah, I know it's a successful game, but it's really hard to do that when you're just starting off with a game. When you just launch it for the first time, it's a really big risk. Taking a game and printing 10,000 copies of it without any marketing channels. I mean, I have no sales channels. That was my problem. That's why I quit the business, because I didn't like to build the marketing channels, and I didn't want to hire someone to do that, because, well, they're really expensive. And yeah, it's already a very low profit or the profit margin, so the percentage you actually gain from it, is really small, except when you're a really big company. So if you can make like 1 million copies of Monopoly, and you can sell them for, I don't know what they cost, I think about $40, 40, 50, I don't know. Then you make about 50% of profit. But if you're small, like I am, then it is in fact, yeah, your profit is more like 5%. And that doesn't include any of the time you invested in it. So basically 5% of all of the money I put in, I get 105% out of the games. And that does include traveling costs and things like that, but it doesn't include any of my time. And yeah, my time is, yeah, you invest a lot of time in that. So that's why I thought, well, maybe computer games are a lot better, because computer games don't cost anything to replicate. You can just copy them. And as long as you make sure that that other people cannot copy it by doing something clever, there's plenty of ways to accomplish that. But as long as you can manage to avoid getting copied by people, and so that they actually will buy your game, then I think you can make a game for like 50 cents. I mean a CD, for example, and then the CD case plus the little booklet with the rules and the explanations and whatever, that costs, I don't know, a few cents. That's nothing compared to what a board game costs to produce. Because making a Monopoly type game for a company like mine costs about, I think about $35, and then you still that's just the printing cost, and well, that's from you give your IDs, your drawings and everything to a printer, and they will print it. So it's a professional printer, so it is kind of expensive that way. And the more you print, the cheaper they become per unit. But no, I don't want to surrender. But yeah, if you don't have the money to do it in 10,000, but you only have the money to do 500, then the cost per unit is quite high. And yeah, that was, as I said, kind of my problem. If I had some way to get it to the bigger companies, so to get national companies in some countries to take on my games, I would have been really big really quickly. And yeah, that just didn't work out. And it didn't work out because I didn't want to do all this marketing talk. I want to design games. I'm not a marketer in any sense. I really hate all the marketing aspects, and yeah, I like to explain to people how my games work, what they do. I can even explain to you how or to you, to a potential buyer, the marketing statistics, so I can tell you how many were sold, what the target audience is, things like that, because that's all game design. At least I consider your target audience to be game design, because you have to know who you're designing a game for and what your target is. Why is he running away? Oh, anyway. And the problem I just had was that I didn't get in with any of the big companies in well, here in the Netherlands, because it was a Dutch company, but it was an international company as well. So I tried to get into foreign countries, and I got some local sellers to do it, the small vendors. So yeah, that was kind of nice to have the experience of your game being sold in foreign countries. But as I said, I didn't have really the amount of money it required to get it into large volumes, and I didn't want to focus on just one game, because I can make one game and make an awesome game, but what if that then fails, or if it doesn't work in certain countries? Then I'm stuck with one game and that's it. But I wanted to have some variety, so I wanted to bring out like 6 games in the beginning, 6 good games for different different spell types, different spell types. Come on, game types. Spell is the Dutch word for game, just in case you wonder. But I wanted to have different types of games. I wanted to have different audiences, and I wanted to have different amounts of people you needed to play a game. Because a 1v1 game is completely different from a group game where you play with 12 people, or can play with 12 people. And yeah, I did a lot of playtesting. As I said, I know all of my games are, well, the ones that I released at least, are really well received in by anyone playing them within the target audience. But I just couldn't get it to work in the marketing department. And maybe someday we'll get back to that. But as I said, it is so much easier when you're doing a computer game, because you can just program your computer game once, and then you can change up some things, and you can you can change parameters on your game if it doesn't work, and you can change you can bring out a version 2 of a game. I mean, just watch any of the fighter games like Street Fighter. I think Street Fighter is at 9 now, or Mortal Kombat, or well, one of those. They just release a new one every 2 years or 3 years, I don't know. Because the old one is just outdated in graphics department, but they don't have to reinvent the game. The game is already there. And with a board game, if it looks too much like another board game, to me, it's not a good design. So, to me, a computer game is not a good design if it's a replica of something else. But people will still buy it because it has a newer number on it. And with board games, it doesn't work like that. And yeah, marketing-wise, it's a lot harder to sell because, well, the computer games you can just put on some download site and like Steam, and people can just download it. That's how Magica, for example, became really big. In case you haven't seen that, just yeah, search it on YouTube. It's Magic and KA. So it's it means magic, but in Swedish, I think, or Norwegian, something like that. And yeah, it is a really nice game. It is a, if I'm not mistaken, a graduation project by some students, and they decided to actually launch it, and it just took off because they were selling it on Steam, and people just started buying it all of a sudden. It costs like $10. It's relatively cheap, and it is a real nice game to play. So all in all, I don't really care about the game here. You can see what's happening. I will show you the... hang on, I'll wait for this fight. Because you can see that if Brent is 13-2, that probably the rest of his team isn't doing too well. If it's 25-32, here we go. So actually everybody is in negative, except for Brent. And well, he told me this already, so I'm not really surprised. Brent teleported home. Or ran home, because if he teleported, I would have known. So his teammate not doing too well, and he keeps hitting the wrong spell combo. You have to hit the conflagration first and then the Pillar of Flame, because then it does double damage, and the conflagration in and of itself does as much damage as when the target is ablaze. So yeah, apparently he was drunk. He told me that in his email, but still doesn't matter. If you're playing well, you're playing well. Yeah, a lot more things to say about my my past career as a game designer, but I just hope that I can get in with one of the big companies, and that's why Riot Games is such a good one, because Riot Games is actually a new company which, yeah, makes an awesome game. I mean, this is an awesome game. It's just that I would like to have some say in, or some ideas of mine incorporated in it, because I think that certain aspects of the game are just not good enough. The game itself is pretty good. It is a very decent game. I just think that certain aspects of the game just don't make it fun to play, or rather undermine the fun it is to play. And one of those would be dodge, and one of those would be critical strike. Critical strike to me is something completely stupid. It completely messes up the game, and it makes that you're more dependent on luck than on anything else. Because in a lot of cases with yeah, for example Tryndamere or Yi, you are depending on something that has I don't know, 20% of working, and if you can get 2 criticals in a row, then yeah, you're basically winning a fight, and if you cannot, you're losing the fight. So yeah, to me that's plain stupid. Plus, in the beginning of the game, if you're in lane and you're 1v1ing someone and you get a critical, you basically win your lane. It has nothing to do with skill, it is just pure luck. To me that's not good. Yeah, and then you will see in my champions video, which I'm hoping to bring out tomorrow. It's not very good yet. I mean, the graphics wise, it sucks balls basically. It is really bad, but that's because I don't care about the graphics on this video. I will eventually bring out a final video which has nice graphics. But it's more about the IDs, and hopefully you will still watch it, even though the graphics suck. But yeah, if I bring it out, or when I bring it out, I will tell you a little bit about what I think should be done with this game, or could be done with this game. I already put out the maps, the one about the maps, and I think that there are several maps that would be really fun to have in this game. And yeah, I don't know why it's taking them so long to come up with a new map. I mean, several of the maps or new game modes would be really easy to implement. I mean, I don't know how much work it is to make a new map, but in my opinion you would need, well, you would need the graphics of the map, but that's not the main thing. You need a 3D model of the map. That's more important, because that would include all of the features, such as the grass, which is, by the way, Riot Games' introduction. There's no other game that has the grass. Heroes of New Earth has trees in which you can hide, but they're not the same as this grass is. So they did implement some good things, some really new concepts, and also the runes and masteries, and the fact that you can level up your summoner. They are all they're innovations. But yeah, in my opinion, they're not all good innovations. I mean, just because it's new, that doesn't make it better than the old thing. And just because you changed it in this case, doesn't mean that it's a good change. Or that it is the way it should be. So getting some more kills here, 20 and 3 at the moment, and they're almost equal in kills, just one more. And yeah, by now Brand is completely overpowered. I mean, he just needs to upgrade his Doran's Ring and then he's done. 162 minion kills, which is by far the most on his team and also the most overall. 20 kills, which is definitely the most overall. And he's yeah, he's just playing some nice game. He's doing some excellent damage. So I don't really have a lot to talk about anymore. I don't want to talk about the gameplay because I don't feel like talking about the gameplay. And well, you can see pretty much what's going on. I already have several Brand videos, so I don't want to discuss the skills. And yeah, I don't have anything to talk to you about anymore. Well, the beauty about all of these other games, like yeah, I watch a lot of other games as well. So I mentioned what's called Mortal Kombat and things like that. I recently started watching one of those channels. It's actually a really nice game nowadays. And it has commentary, so that's even better. Well, not the game itself, but the channel. But those games last for like 5 minutes. And then we have the Black Ops, which I watch too. And because I have to keep up with all the games that are brought out, in my opinion, that is. So Black Ops takes, well, about 10 to 15 minutes. And then we have StarCraft, which takes about, well, 15 to 20 minutes. And there are games that are longer. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can get incredibly long games at StarCraft. But StarCraft 2 not so much. But still, you can get some pretty decent amount of time spent on that, but normally it takes about 15 to 20 minutes. And an average League of Legends game takes about, I think they had it at 35 minutes. So the original, no, not the original, the official average from Riot Games is 35 minutes for a 5v5. But in my opinion, that is wrong. Because I rarely see a game that's under 35 minutes. So it has to be higher. I see a lot of games going like 45 minutes. But generally it is longer than 35 minutes. And yeah, of course you have these total ownage games, which happen a lot in the low ELO, but still they don't surrender at 20. They still will play it out, and that means that the game will go on for like 10 more minutes, even though the game is long over. And yeah, here this game is definitely not over. Both teams can still win, because if Brand does well in this game, he will totally kill the enemy team. But if he dies, then the enemy team will get some turrets. And yeah, so this game is not over yet. But yeah, we've seen plenty of games which are over at the 20-minute mark and then just continue until they reach the, I don't know, 45 minutes? Not 45, but let's say 30 minutes. And then they finally kill the Nexus. But yeah, I think the high ELO games are much better in that way, because if they're behind, so if you're behind by, well, I can't say this much because they're not actually behind. But if you're behind in a high ELO match, you're just going to lose. Or if you're ahead in a high ELO match, you can just push, because people understand that if they kill the enemy team, so if they have one kill, they can actually take Dragon. Nobody took Dragon this game, I think. Well, at least not this team, because it's still here. And if you have 2 or more kills, and probably also with 1 if you kill the right one, you can actually take Baron. And with Baron you can easily take out this turret and this inhibitor before this guy respawns, or well, with the next kill you get then. So you get 1 kill and then you can kill 3 turrets. But with these low ELO matches, it is just, yeah, it's like they never understand that they actually have a big advantage if they kill one team or opponent. Is anyone positive by now? No, not even close. Well, Nunu is kinda close. But yeah, well. What they're actually doing, Baron. Really smart. And how far are we along? I don't know. Oh, they actually got it. So they got Baron, even though this Misfortune had her ultimate up and did it ulted that way instead of just over this whole thing. They just got Baron, but yeah, well, whatever. Guess Nunu was good enough as a jungler with his Consume and Smite to take it out. But all in all, yeah, this as I said, this game isn't over. But I think many games are over way before they're finished. And yeah, that is, to me as a caster, that is really hard, because I need to make or comment on something that is really not interesting anymore. Wow, that was a lot of damage. So he has 606 AP by now, and his spell penetration is 20 with 49%. That is a pretty big deal. So that's why he's killing so quickly. And yeah. Anyway, yeah, this game will take some time. I think I really would like to have a timer here somewhere, so that I can actually see how long it still lasts, because this can be over in 2 minutes, but it can also last for another 20. I think I'll just fast forward a little bit. Let's just follow Brand around. It's the only way to do it for me, because otherwise it will be very choppy if I scroll now with my mouse. At the moment we're at about 12 frames per second. And we will just see if they can actually get something going here. Nope. Yeah, Brand really can die, because as soon as Brand dies, and that's what we see now, the enemy will take out some turrets and inhibitors and things like that. So yeah, this is bad. Nunu coming out and actually able to kill some minions here. But they lose 2 inhibitors. And let's lock onto Brand once more. Yeah, this is interesting enough to actually watch. Brand, dude, kill him. That might also be just something in the replay system, that he just doesn't move anymore. Annie with her stun up, she's probably going to get the kill here. No. Doesn't actually have anything up. She just used her Tibbers. And yeah, he dies again. So we're going to fast forward once more. 4 times. You can watch the minimap if you want to. I'm only interested in Brand. And there we go once more. So yeah, this game, although it's not over yet, it is such bad play from this complete team except for Brand that it is kinda getting ridiculous. I mean, Brand gets all the kills. He has 26 kills already. Yeah, you really should go heal. And they're going to lose a turret here. There's not a whole lot you can do about that, being a caster. And they lose. Ah, so sad. Yeah, as I said, as soon as Brand dies, it's over. So I hope you enjoyed the game. Sorry for the... well, not sorry. I hope you enjoyed my talk about everything personal. And I'll see you next time. GG.